Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of From No Crypto to No Crypto. I'm your host, the Crypto Coach, Blockchain Wayne. Today we're joined by Raina Casbon here at New Society. Raina, thanks for joining us in today.
Thanks for having me, Wayne.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we're broadcasting this, recording this from New Society. We've done a feature on that. If you missed that one, make sure to go and check out that podcast episode with Tim Williamson. But we're going to talk about a lot, crypto journeys, right?
Absolutely, and it is a journey.
Yeah, ups and downs, and a lot of things we're also going to talk about is things that can help the new user coming in to learn from those mistakes and those issues that past people have had, especially, you know, whether it's scams or whether it's technical issues. So we'll talk about that. But Raina, you know, before we jump into that, tell everybody a little bit about your background and how you got into this space.
All right. Well, you know, Wayne, I've been telling this story now for 8 years, right? And, you know, it started to lose its enthusiasm because I kind of felt like everyone already heard it. But so how I got into this crazy world of crypto was different for most people, and I love my origin story. It starts off kind of sad. At 40 years old, I was widowed, and it was just a pretty crazy situation. But about 4 years after that, I met a guy, and we hit it off instantly. We're, you know, 6 months apart in age and all of that, and I kept hounding him after we went on our first date to the track, right, to the fairgrounds, and won money on our first date, and we had a great time. And I kept bugging him about, what do you do? What do you do besides work, right? What are you into? And he kept dodging the question, and I had no idea why at the time. Now I know exactly why.
Too much to explain, right?
Too much to explain. And finally, you know, I told him enough about me, and I'm like, all right, so what are you into? So finally he says Bitcoin, and I'm like, okay. He's like, have you ever heard of it? No, I have not. And that he, you know, started off talking, and had such enthusiasm and such passion for it. And the way that he got me finally was, I said, I can send money to you digitally without a bank in the middle. Well, for me, that's what it took, right? I think that's, you know, just an exciting revelation. And that day he had me download a wallet to my phone, and he sent me some Bitcoin on our first date. So that is forever memorialized on the blockchain.
I was about to say that. You can pull up a Block Explorer and see that.
Can.
So there's no way to forget it. He can't forget it.
There's no way to forget it. And so that was about 8 years ago, and been going strong ever since. He says he created a monster. So he tells me, and I tell everyone else.
Yeah, you turn that not just into like an investing passion, but a career, right?
Sure did. Sometime, or right around 2017, when, you know, I had been going to meetups, and they had a meetup in the city, and at the Houdat Cafe, as a matter of fact, and that was an Ethereum meetup, and I met some software developers there, and they needed beta testers for this new software. It was accounting software for businesses, and I mean, of course I can help, right? Can you get beta testers? Yes, I can get people to try your stuff for free and tell you if it's good or not.
Yeah. So
I set out on that. It was just a part-time gig, and then we got funded. We actually got accepted into Techstars, and we all joined the team full-time in late 2018. And we were actually acquired in 2023, August of 2023.
Nice.
Yes.
So what have you been up to since?
Well, I've been doing a lot of freelancing, right? So we have the Emerging Tech Workshop that we've done through New Society, educating new people to the space. And I'm also working for a consulting firm out of Vancouver, Washington, just right across the bridge from Portland. And what we're doing there. So I met Nicole, the CEO, through a mutual friend, and she was hacked back in 2016 or 17, I guess. And she started this company, Crypto Consultz, in 2018. And they help people who have been victims of scams and fraud, help them to put their transactions together. You see, you can't just call the FBI and report that. You need the proof. And with crypto, especially, some of these scams are pretty intricate, and you need transactions and things of that nature. You have to download them. They have to be in a readable format. And so we help them get all of that together, and sometimes even act as a liaison through the entire process, which is hard.
I've helped someone with that recently. It's definitely complex. It's time intensive, and that's for those of us that understand what we're doing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's for us who know how to read a block explorer, know how to track transactions, know how to export our transactions from wallets and things like that. And unfortunately, the victims of these scams, they don't know this stuff. They don't know it. So it's a combination of education and also, unfortunately, sometimes breaking the bad news.
Yeah, I think, this is a great topic that we can dive a little bit deeper into. Of what's out there, what we've seen over the years, just to protect new people that are coming in. Because even some of the ones that we think are 5 or 6 years old, they're old to us, but they may be resurfacing again. But before we dive into that, I mean, one thing you mentioned about Crypto Consultz is that's not just what you all do now. It's expanded into other avenues as well, right?
It has. We have a whole slew of consultants for DeFi, purchasing crypto for the first time. I handle a lot of beginner education, and I'm also the crypto forensics lead. So whether it's accounting, your taxes, and things of that nature, we have specialists that can help with that stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Even trading, beginner trading.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, a lot of people are always wanting to know where to start. And there's so much information out there, but there's also so much disinformation. So it's good to have. So yeah, I think a lot of us have aligned around the need for education in this space, and there's so much information out there, as I said, and so much disinformation as well. And yeah, so we're attacking it from different angles. You're helping people that we're catching them after they've been scammed. There are people that want consulting before they do something wrong. And at Emerging Tech Workshop, what we do is we're teaching people and businesses how they can leverage this technology, that it's not just about, cryptocurrency is some investment you can make some money on. It is a business tool. Like, the whole technology is designed to be tools that business can use to get an edge.
Absolutely. And the motivation for Emerging Tech is different too, because we're out here to bring in people in Louisiana to this amazing new technology, introducing it to them for the first time. I mean, we had a visitor come to one of our workshops, and he was in his 70s, right? People... those are the kind of people that we want to be interested. We want to help them learn and understand through these workshops. And so that's a little bit different. Crypto Consultz, they do an hourly, right? So it's either it's retainer based or hourly fee, and we help you with the security. We help you understand the tools, and also how to keep yourself safe online. So that's the start of every consulting gig, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And scams are not they're not just part of the cryptocurrency ecosystem, right? There's been scams. I used to manage Best Buy stores, and I used to always have, a lot of times it was elderly people, occasionally it was people younger that would come in because they needed to buy certain iTunes gift cards to pay somebody, or and it was either an IRS scam or your grandkids in jail, and you need to bail them out type deal.
Yeah.
And so we had to stop them, and it goes back for years, but because scammers prey on people's ignorance.
They do. And new technology, so you have a whole new wave of scammers and scams.
Yeah.
And it happened with the internet, right? The Nigerian princes of the 1990s.
Yeah.
And with elderly people now, there are just more scams for the elderly than you can even imagine. Someone called my father and asked him for his Google password so that they could update his software, right? I mean, he doesn't know his password because I don't tell him, because I don't want him to be in danger.
Yeah.
I keep all that.
Yeah, I've seen one in the past where this was another one where they would infect someone's computer with a virus, and then also control the pop-up to let them know, oh, this is Windows alert.
Yes.
You have a virus, contact us for support. And then, that whole avenue. So it was before crypto, But now that you have this, it's another avenue for people to prey on people's ignorance. So the best way to protect yourself is to learn about it, learn how to identify those red flags.
Yes.
Right. And so what are you, I mean, you've talked to some people recently. I'll share an experience I've had afterwards, but what are some of the common things you're seeing people falling for today?
So most of the bigger scams that we've seen are surrounding what they call romance scams. So someone, look, we've all met people on the internet, right? And we've met people that we've shared intimate things with, right? And we've never met them in person. But after some time, they start to build trust with you. And they're willing to put in the time, right? Because they've already researched you. They know what they can find out about you online. They know that they just know so much about you.
Right.
And so it starts off with getting to know you because you have a mutual interest. So they find whatever you're interested in, and that's the mutual interest. And they do a lot of research on it. There's a lot of thought that goes into this. And over time, they start to tell you about their crypto investing. And these people, most of them have never heard of crypto, or if they've heard of it, they are apprehensive because it's difficult. They've heard it's difficult. So they prey on that, right? Yeah. And they have this platform. They're making all this money. They share their screen on a call with you and show you how much money they're making and how easy it is. They guarantee returns.
Yeah, in many cases, outrageous returns, right?
Outrageous
But we get blinded
returns.
By the greed.
Yes. And we also we're blinded by the romance. That's what they call it, a romance scam. And if you want to know more about it, the term that I hate that the FBI and such uses is pig butchering. I mean, it's a disgusting term. I hate it. But that's how you can find the most information online about this.
Yeah, and a lot of times those fake platforms, they'll also continue to build trust by getting that person that they're scamming to send a little bit and then show a fake profit it looks good on the screen, but it's not real. They can't withdraw it.
Yes, and many times they tell you, they give you a minimum amount that you're allowed to invest. So you can't invest less than $5,000 or $1,000, even some as low as $1,000.
Yeah.
They'll do $1,000 or $2,000 up front, and then they'll show you massive gains, and they'll let you withdraw half of it, right? And after that, they've got you.
Yeah.
Because you've gotten a little taste, and people are losing $500,000. I mean, and it's really difficult to tell someone, because when they contact us, they don't think they're being scammed. They think that they just don't have the technical prowess to withdraw funds from the platform. They're just doing something wrong because they don't know how. And so they come to us for help to withdraw the funds from the platform. And we're the ones to have to tell them that, in fact, the funds are not there.
Yeah, it's not real. Yeah.
And we know just from the links, right? There are specific places that you can sign up, connect your bank account, and purchase crypto safely.
Yeah. Without having to have anybody do it for you, too.
Right. No one has to do it for you.
Yeah.
You have to do it yourself. And if someone's educating you, they should be educating you on how to do this yourself. No one can do it for you. There are even ways to shadow trade. They have platforms like that where you still have your own account and you watch what they trade, and then you emulate their trades. That exists, and that is fine, but not a platform that is not registered in the United States. I could go on and on about that.
Well, not just the U.S. I mean, anywhere. There's legitimate platforms and non-legitimate platforms. So if someone is reaching out to you and asking you to invest, that should be the first red flag.
Exactly.
In fact, let's take that a step further. If myself or Raina or anybody you know, your best friend is reaching out to you to invest in a platform, you should be skeptical, because what we've also seen is the impersonation part of that, to where they'll hack someone's actual account or impersonate that person with a clone account, one of the two, and then you think you're talking to this person that you've known your whole life possibly, and it's really not them. That's where common sense should step in, like, hey, meet me face to face. Let's hop on a video call.
Yep.
And a lot of times that'll just expose what that is. Like when I talked to somebody recently just this week where that was the case. It was somebody they had met personally. They were really they met them at a campground. They go to campgrounds every weekend. And so they met them. They know this girl was local to them relatively,
right,
in the same state. And come to find out, all the conversations about crypto investing with all these crazy ideas of gains were all through Messenger. And he's like, I don't think she would scam me because we know her personally. Like, we know where she lives. And I'm like, well, I would probably bet that the person you're talking to in Messenger is not her, that she's probably been hacked.
That happened to me. Someone created I wasn't hacked, but someone created a profile with my same information on it.
Same,
on Instagram. And they were sending my friends messages about crypto.
Yeah.
And luckily, my friends know that if I talk about crypto, but if they want to learn about it, then they need to come to me. I don't go to them. I don't push this on anyone. It's my choice, and I love talking about it, and I talk about it to my friends, but I talk to them about the merits of the technology, not the price of the coins or money making and things like that. I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't do that. But if you want to do this and you make the decision to do it, I can help you do it safely. And that's what I tell all of my friends. And luckily, they knew me well enough to know that whoever this was impersonating me on Instagram was not in fact me.
Yeah, that's definitely very common. There's also the impersonation of famous people, especially with
on YouTube.
Yeah, even before AI was really prevalent, there was the fake Elon Musk and Michael Saylor and all these other
Tom Cruise.
Talking about crypto giveaways and how you can enter. And the biggest thing is, don't let greed override your common sense, because a lot of times we think, okay, what'll it hurt? You don't really understand the risk, and once you send funds, it's gone. Like, there's no, even if they continue to show you profits in what you're doing, when you go to withdraw, they're going to want more money. And that's part of the ongoing
That's
scam.
Part of that. That's when most people feel like they get a whiff that something's wrong.
Yeah.
Right. So they have these profits, and then when they go to withdraw, it says, oh, well, you owe 10%. You have to send us 10% for taxes. And you have to send that to us via bank wire to Bank of China. And then your funds will be released. That's when most people get the first inkling that something is wrong.
Yeah, and in many cases it's way down the line. Right?
Way down the line, because the fact of the matter is, if your funds go to Asia, it is nearly impossible for us, for the U.S. authorities even, to get that for you. There's good news, right? We're spreading this education, and we hope that you'll spread it to others as well. There are ways to help people. We just don't have spam filters for crypto yet, right? Most of the email scams of yesteryear went away with spam filters, and we don't have that yet for crypto. So if there's one thing you take away from this talk is, you should never send money to someone. And you should never use platforms that someone recommends. There are specific platforms in the United States that you can use, and you should use those. Yeah. Because crypto is a learning experience, and someone who wants to teach you, and they're not charging you, and they want to give you links to platforms, these are the things to, if you take one thing away, please take that away. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's the biggest thing, right?
It is.
The beauty of this technology is it allows you to manage it yourself without the need for anybody else to do it for you. The minute you turn over that control to somebody else, your funds could be lost. All your trust is in them, and if you don't really know that person, then there's probably, you know, a ulterior motive behind that. So it's important to think about that. And then also these promises of massive gains, right? That's not something that is really, you know, could you do very well with investments in crypto? Absolutely.
Right. But you can also lose a lot of money. And anyone who is in the crypto space will tell you you can lose money.
Yeah.
There's no guaranteed gains in anything. Yeah. And even if they are a friend of yours, if they're not a licensed investment advisor, like a financial advisor, then they can't ask you for funds.
Yeah.
They can't do that. And they shouldn't, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So resources, obviously, how can someone contact you on through Crypto Consultz?
All right, so my email address is Raina, R-A-I-N-A, at Crypto Consultz, CryptoConsultz.com.
All right. Absolutely. So make sure to check that out. If you have questions, just, you know, reach out through proper channels, and don't trust some stranger on the internet. And even if it's somebody you think you know, if you have a way to, if you have their phone number, or if they live here, you know, contact, video call, do something to make sure that it's not that person. Because chances are, if they're trying to get you to invest, it's not. And that, you know, talking about scams can be a very negative perspective into the space, but there's the good and the bad. The good is this technology has so much promise and so much use case that it's going to be the future. So just like, hey, when the internet first came out, it was scary, it was clunky, it was hard to use, and people were scared of it. That's the same thing with this, but what happened, eventually it gets easier, and there's a lot of projects and protocols like what we're doing at FIO and other projects to make it easier, but learning it now can not only just help prevent scams, but put you in a position to benefit from that knowledge. Because when you truly understand how this works, then you can make better decisions, make better investing decisions, and, you know, eventually, you know, in the long term, you could do well financially, but in the short term, it's a very volatile ride.
It is, and I absolutely love this space, and that's why I'm invested in it like I am, and not only financially, but also invested in helping others. It's a wonderful learning experience. It's helped me become comfortable using technology that, you know, prior to that, I was one of those late adopters of the internet. Now I feel comfortable using technology like I never have before, but that's because I learned it from scratch, right? I learned it the hard way, and that's what we can help you with.
Yep, absolutely. So, Raina, it's been a pleasure having you on today. Thanks for meeting us here at New Society. We're going to be doing an emerging tech workshop tonight, the night that we're recording, but we do it every month. So if you're in the New Orleans area, keep an eye out. We post them on Eventbrite.
And New Society shares it on their newsletter as well.
Absolutely. It's a great spot on St. Charles Avenue. You can see it in the background, and we can you know, help you understand the space, answer any questions, but find those people you can trust. And I know a lot of times trust is still face-to-face, even though we live in a digital world where you can connect across the world. So it's been a pleasure, Raina. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll catch you on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Be safe out there.